Hello everyone, I'm Carly, and it takes very little for me to develop a crush on a character.
And I'm Sam, and there's no character that I won't crush on.
And welcome to Read Receipts with Carly and Sam, our brand new book-based podcast covering all the latest hits and some stories off the beaten path.
With a few fun and exclusive episodes mixed in between.
And today, that is what we're here to do.
Hear us out. We're doing a Hear Me Out cake.
This is our number one priority when we wanted to do our off-the-shelf episodes, was talking about our Hear Me Outs.
So excited.
Yeah, we have a cake here today.
Yes, Carly made this very delicious cake for our Hear Me Out.
Yes, it's a bundt cake even, so it didn't take that much effort. I just have a pan for it. But
we're very excited. Carly made the cake. We printed out our Hear Me Outs. We are just buzzing about this episode.
This is also like our celebratory cake. We realized, I think when we released the trailer episode, we were gonna eat cake, and then we were like, well, we are gonna have cake in a few weeks, so.
But now we are.
So this is it.
This is
This
it.
is our celebratory cake. We earned this. For the people who are chronically offline, Sam, do we want to describe what exactly a Hear Me Out cake is?
Yeah, for sure. So you've heard of Smash. You've heard of Pass. Now we've got something for you that's a little bit in between the two. We have the Hear Me Out cake. I think a Hear Me Out cake is kind of like, let me find a good picture of this guy because I swear he looks better in a different light. Or, you know what? Maybe he's a little bit emotionally distant, but he's so funny.
Yeah, exactly. I like also your reference to, I swear he looks better in a different picture. I'm like,
everyone can relate. Everyone can relate.
Are you calling me out for when I tried to show you guys my dentist and it was like, I swear he looks hotter in person. But yes, that's kind of the idea of it, is characters that it's like, you have to explain yourself for why you like them.
Yes.
But the thing that is really hard about this, I don't know how you felt when you were picking out yours. I felt like I, at times, was kind of having a hard time, like, justifying, like, is this a Hear Me Out? Or would everyone be attracted to this, you know?
So fair. I also had a hard time justifying, is this a Hear Me Out, or do I just want to be this person?
That too. That is the gay problem. Sorry, bisexual problem. and sapphic problem, both. But on top of that too, in my mind, what I think is, obviously this is a hot blah blah blah. Just because like it's not a human does not, in my mind, mean that it's not clearly still a hot person.
Yeah.
So
agreed. We have a little bit of everything.
Yes, we have a lot of everything.
Once we get into it, I mean, you'll see.
To be clear, for our game, since this is a book-based podcast, all of our Hear Me Outs are going to be book characters. Or, because, you know, sometimes it's a little hard coming up with these characters to choose from books, it's also any sort of like media that is based on a book, like a movie that's based on a book, a TV show that's based on a book, etc.
Which means that our spoiler warning is still very much into effect. We won't be diving into reviews or summaries or things like that, but we will still be talking about characters that may play important plot points in some of the stories that they're from.
Yeah.
So please be careful, like you always are when you listen to our episodes.
Yeah.
You've been warned.
We'll try to give everyone plenty of time, like whenever we show the character that it's like, oh, that's from something that I was planning on reading soon. Let me just skip over. Feel free. So we have limited ourselves to 10 because truly, especially at one point, we were kind of throwing back some ideas and it's like, okay, yeah, we could go on forever doing this. So limited ourselves to 10 with a few honorable mentions, but that is what you could expect.
I think I probably had an easier time narrowing down my list than you did, because I feel like when we were kind of talking about our process and like scripting out what we were going to do for this episode, you had so many more Hear Me Outs than I did.
Like I said, I'm attracted to anything if it brings. And if it doesn't, also that. There were certain avenues I hadn't explored whenever I was coming up with my list, but then once we talked about it and I did, it was like, oh yeah.
Gotta put that in there.
So I'm very happy with my list now, but it was a little hard because, again, in my mind, especially, okay, I read a lot of romance, and I feel like every character in romance, whether they are the intended matches or not, it's like they're gonna be hot.
Sure.
So, you know, like that whole category is basically out. So fantasy, I feel like, is where I drew a lot of my inspiration. And then like a couple of things that like are really deep pulls that I hadn't thought about in a while. And that was kind of the world that I worked with.
I feel like that's pretty much where I aligned as well. And it is kind of hard when you have characters that are just naturally going to be hot, because these are supposed to be hear me outs.
Yeah.
So What are we supposed to do when they're brooding and mysterious, dark hair, tall, like...
Yeah, because also, is it still hear me out if it's like they're hot, but they're really bad?
Yes.
They did some really...
Is that a hear me out? Is that a hear me out?
Yeah. I'm excited. I think there's at least a justification for each one. I think we did a pretty good job. I'm excited. It's like we have a little bit of an idea of what each person has on their list, but...
Yes. But not truly like the full picture, so this will be as new for us as it is for you guys, which is really exciting.
Yeah. All right. Should we get into it?
Let's get into it.
All right. I'm going to start with...
I'm so excited.
I haven't read this book.
No. What a great start.
A great
start.
I genuinely, I meant to actually look up who the author was because I realized that I actually have two characters by the same author. My first hear me out is Quasimodo. And I don't, again, part of me is a little bit like, is it a hear me out? Like I feel like he's adorable. I think we all love him. Mm-hmm. Yes, he's a little strange looking, but when has that ever stopped me? You know?
Carly.
What? Look at him, he's so cute. I love Quasimodo.
He is adorable.
He's sweet. I low-key was kind of upset in the movie whenever Esmeralda still didn't end up with him. Like, I think, story-wise, I think it's fair. But when I was, especially as an adult, I have come to accept that.
Sure.
But when I was a child, I was like, wait a minute.
You said not Quasimodo?
Their main character.
So from childhood, he's been a hear me out.
Yeah. And again,
love that for you.
Like, there's so many potential hear me outs. Like, if you think of Disney movies, for instance, it's like Robin Hood, not a hear me out. Hot fox. Everyone, clearly he's hot. That is not a hear me out, just because he's a fox.
Hot fox. It's a good one.
Thank you.
It's a good one. My first hear me out is Tairn.
Yes.
So I was kind of conflicted whether or not to put Tairn on my hear me out list because I feel like, come on. Obviously. Like, I understand he's a dragon.
Yes.
But, like...
I also kind of agree. I feel like it's a
obviously.
little obvious.
Yeah.
I think it's because he is such a prominent character in Fourth Wing that it's like... It makes sense to me that you would have a crush on him at some point.
I also think, like... Again, I understand that he's a dragon. But I think if he were a human... Obviously.
Yeah.
Right?
Easily.
Come on. Easily.
Yeah. Honestly, when I think of Tairn, I don't usually think that much about what he looks like. So even further reason why in my mind, it's like, is it even a hear me out? But I do think, I mean, when you remember that he's a dragon, it's like, yeah, fair.
It's like, okay, fine.
Yeah, sure, if you say so. Speaking of dragons, I have Atrum. Can you see it? Atrum. From Fourth Wing also, aka Riddick's dragon. I feel like this makes more sense if you've read Onyx Storm, which I know that you haven't gotten that far yet. But you will get it.
I imagine if Atrum is anything like Riddick, I get it.
Yes, honestly, I feel like we learn a lot more about Atrum in this book. Like, not a whole lot, but I mean, even I think through the point that you've read, we find out that he's a 23-year-old dragon. Mm-hmm. He is young, and he gives very dude bro energy.
I love that.
Like, him and Riddick are so broing out, and I love it. And so I think part of my interest in him is... there's a little bit of mystery because it's like we never exactly get his POV or anything. Sure. We don't know exactly what he's saying, but from the snippets you get of like him and Riddick talking, it is like so adorable, and I love their friendship, and there's just a lot of charm to it.
Speaking of creatures / animals, my next one is Sirius Black from Harry Potter as a dog.
Oh, okay. No, Sirius. Stop!
Please stop.
Please stop!
Please stop.
She even knew that you said Sirius. Like, where did she think that your name got?
Even she thinks he deserves a spot on our Hear Me Out list.
Yeah.
Sirius is my favorite marauder, so easy points for that.
Yeah.
But there's just something about him in dog format.
Yeah, honestly.
He's got that dog in him.
Honestly, I agree. So Sirius is not my favorite marauder, but when you think of him in dog form, I'm like, yeah. I don't
know how to explain it, but there's just something about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about me or about us.
Especially when you think back to the parts where he is a dog in the books. Like, any of the times he walked Harry to, like, little places here and there because he couldn't be out, so he would do it as a dog.
Yes.
It's like, those are kind of
loyal,
best parts.
endearing. charming, adorable, your best friend.
Yeah,
What more could you want?
exactly. I get it. Very similar vein, mildly inspired by your Hear Me Out. My Hear Me Out is Lupin as a werewolf. Because here's the thing. I love Lupin. Lupin is easily my favorite Harry Potter character, not even just Marauder, Harry Potter character as a whole. And actually, when I was younger, I was really scared of this. But as I've gotten older, I see past, and I still see him.
To the Lupin on the inside.
To the Lupin on the inside. Me and Tonks, we see the real man behind there. And this does not deter me. I still love him regardless.
Okay, just in case you've had enough of our animal creature Hear Me Outs, we'll tame it down a little bit.
We'll take a break. We're coming back to it.
Well,
For me, at least. Sorry.
Carly said it's not over though. My next Hear Me Out is Jasper Hale from Twilight.
Very good. Very
Specifically the baseball scene. I mean, look at that.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yes, I love the baseball scene.
Love
Honestly,
the baseball scene.
I did not grow up a very big Twilight person, but the baseball scene sticks out in my mind. That's like what I remember.
It's something.
Yeah.
It's something. And listen, Jasper Hale is a Confederate soldier. Problematic, I know. I understand.
I did not remember that about him.
Problematic, I understand.
Very problematic. Wow, way to knock him down several pegs. You didn't even have to talk about his eyes.
He also constantly looks like he's constipated, and he doesn't play well with others.
He doesn't blink.
And he doesn't blink. He's got a lot of issues. I understand that. But hear me out.
Yeah. I think this might be so far the most hear me out, in my opinion. Because already with the dead eyes and stuff, like I low-key was also attracted to Jasper, but more so because it's like, I grew up always thinking, I can't like the main male character. So I like landed on Jasper, but I also was like, like, do I want?
But hear me out.
It very.
Hear me out.
I have to, especially now that I know his background. My next Hear Me Out is Barty Crouch Jr., but specifically Barty Crouch Jr. in Mad-Eye Moody's clothes. So, like, right at
Specifically in Mad-Eye Moody's clothes.
Yeah, right at the end when he gets found out. I love an oversized outfit. I don't know what it is about the angle. I'm like, this is my favorite part. I think this is my favorite version of him. I do like
this specific photo as well.
Yes, like this is exactly from the scene.
You said, no, this is what I want.
This is what I want. I do like the moment where he goes, "Hi, Father," and then
No!
But that's different. That's from like the memory. And honestly, I still think a lot about like, how do I judge how I feel about Moody as a character if the whole time he was Barty Crouch? So when you add into the fact that like all of Goblet of Fire Moody was actually Barty Crouch, or at least like pretty much all that we saw, I feel like that adds to, I mean, technically that brings down the hear me outness of it because like adore Moody, but adds to his character, you know?
I'm still caught up on your little impression of...
Hi, Father. I also just love David Tennant. Favorite Doctor, favorite everything, love David Tennant.
I'm gonna remember that forever.
Not his best moment as a whole, does really kind of cringe me out, but also low-key here for it.
Love it.
So, yeah, that's my man. That's my man.
Okay, my next Hear Me Out is from a completely different genre. So we're switching gears here a little bit into the romance, vintage, Victorian,
like
high class era.
Okay.
Philippa Featherington.
From
Bridgerton.
Oh, from Bridgerton. Okay, I have not seen Bridgerton. I really want to.
So I haven't read the books, so she may be a slightly different character from the books. But I'm absolutely in love with her in the series. She's just a simple girl from the 1800s that wants to find love, throw parties, and doesn't ever really know what's going on.
Okay. I love the sound of that. I'd be down for that. Is she mean?
She, I don't think, knows enough about what's going on to be mean.
Ah, okay. I love that. I
know?
love a himbo.
She's
Or
just, yes.
a shimbo?
She's a shimbo. She is a shimbo.
Yeah.
That's exactly who she is.
Except technically the real word would be bimbo, because that is the start point of himbo.
Oh.
But shimbo is way better.
I really like shimbo, actually.
Yeah.
I love how, yes, you're right. It is actually
It
bimbo.
would be bimbo, but
shimbo.
that's demeaning. Shimbo.
Shimbo.
Completely different.
Shimbo is a win.
Yeah.
Obsessed with Philippa Featherington. Also, do I want to be Philippa Featherington?
Uh-huh.
Like, am I in love with her or do I want to be her?
All right, for my next one, from the very beloved series, The Hunger Games, we have Mags.
Love Mag.
And again, I'm like, is it even a hear me out? Yes, she's an older woman. But look at that hair.
Love Mag.
So beautiful. She doesn't say a goddamn thing.
But she's minding her business, and you can tell she's loyal.
Yes, but she says so much without saying anything.
Agreed.
And
commands respect, intelligent.
So kind of giving. She took Annie's place in the reaping, sacrificed her life to save PETA.
Yeah.
So many things. What a woman. I could
What
never.
a woman. Max has got it going on. She's got it going on.
Yeah, I honestly, Suzanne Collins, please give me her backstory.
More Mags.
Yeah, after we do Haymitch, I am so down to learn more about her. I want to know how she won. Honestly, we literally never hear her. And I'm like, how long has she been like that? Did she win the Hunger Games speechless, literally? Impressive. I love that.
We love it.
There's nothing I hate about this woman.
Okay, keeping to the Hunger Games theme, my next Hear Me Out is Haymitch Abernathy.
Okay. Haymitch is an interesting one because, and this is why I also at one point I considered Caesar Flickerman. And I was like, but also everyone loves Stanley Tucci. And I feel like very similarly, everyone loves Woody Harrelson.
Yes, I agree. So Haymitch was one of mine that I was like, is it a Hear Me Out? Very similar to Tairn. But when you think about him as just like a separate person, he is a little problematic. He's an alcoholic. He really is very fickle.
Yes,
He's
especially
not
in the
super,
book.
yeah.
Like, I feel like Woody Harrelson really brings a lot of charm and love to him.
I agree.
And in the book version, he's a little more iffy.
He's a little iffy. He's a little gritty, kind of unreliable. You know, you really need to like warm up to him, very much like I can change him.
Yeah.
Which there is a point to where that might be a hear me out. You know, ladies, we shouldn't be looking at men as I can change him men.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
I do feel like he barely shows up. He's there, but he shows up
It's pretty bad.
as an embarrassment, like
Yeah.
as somebody you don't want on your team, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like known for being very curt.
Like, he gets a little bit better, but I mean, even so, I do think throughout it. Like,
yeah.
Also, he's a little bit of his own miscommunication trope. Like,
Yes.
The way that Katniss is so in the dark about things. To a degree that
Yes.
it's- I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe we could have given her
When you really think about it, is he someone you can trust? You know? So, hear me out.
bad for relationship reasons there. Yeah. But also, hold on. A moment for the wig.
A moment for the wig.
Love that wig.
Hear me out.
Hear me out. Could have had a separate hear me out for just Haymitch's wig.
Just the wig.
Oh, I cannot. Oh my god. Who do you? Never mind. That's a whole other thing. Who do you think they'll cast in Sunrise on the Reaping? I cannot wait.
I'm pretty excited to
Yeah.
hear more about Haymitch's story.
Yeah.
Will he continue to be a hear me out?
Yeah.
We'll
I don't
see.
know.
We might also be covering it, so stay tuned.
I have this one and I don't actually know how to say his name.
Oh.
This is a very recent thing for me.
Love this. A new hear me out making an appearance.
Yeah, because I saw Les Mis in theaters, like, you know, over 10 years ago or something. And that was fine and dandy. And that's the only exposure I've had. And then I recently went to go see the production that came through our town, and I really liked Thenardier, I think is how you say his name. Mr. Thenardier in the movie. He's the guy who owns the, like, it's an inn, I think, and that, like, he and his wife are no, not Cosette.
They're Eponine's parents.
Eponine's, yes, Eponine's parents.
And they take care of Cosette.
Yes, they take care of Cosette.
Yes, okay.
So
this is a hear me
to
out
back
for you?
up, I do not like Sacha Baron Cohen's version. I specifically like the man who played him in the production that I saw. And also, honestly, so
specific.
Also add seeing him from like 100 feet back, because we were in the back of the orchestra. Because honestly, this is
Don't really know what he looks like.
yeah, this is literally a picture of that exact man, and it's blurry as hell because I got it off of Instagram. But
Stop.
so in a way, this is a little more accurate to like what I experienced. But also, when I saw the picture, I was like, really? That's him? Interesting. Total different vibe from however many feet away.
This is what he actually looks like?
So this,
When he doesn't
man-
look like his Bumble profile, this is what he actually looks like?
yeah. So imagine this man, but like so far away that you really can just see like some colors, really, and that's it.
Is Carly attracted to colors?
I think I'm attracted to colors and fuzz. I think I'm attracted to dust bunnies.
I didn't expect this one to be like a level of unhinged. As a person, I didn't expect.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know why I have so many caveats around the people I like only Barty Crouch Jr. and Moody's clothes, only this guy in the specific production from 100 feet away.
But hear me out.
But hear me out.
That's where it's at.
Go look up the tour of Les Mis. Let me know what you think. But like also put your computer on the opposite side of the room and then tell me what you think.
And then tell me that you won't hear me out. I mean,
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
Okay, since we're going back into the unhinged, we're leaning back into the unhinged section of our Hear Me Outs. I'm going to go to what might arguably be my most unhinged Hear Me Out.
Okay.
The cigarette from The Fault in Our Stars.
Literal mic drop.
Look at that bad boy.
Did you say from The Fault in Our Stars?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
As soon as I realized what it was, I was like, it has to be that.
specifically, so the cigarette, not just any old cigarette, okay? The
It's a
cigarette that Augustus Waters puts in his mouth as a metaphor in The Fault in Our Stars.
That is so real though, because like, think of Augustus Waters when you first meet him. Cigarette in his mouth, hot. Takes it out of his mouth, who cares?
It's the cigarette.
Yeah.
I mean, when,
It is the
when you put it like that, what's hot about that?
Yeah.
It's the cigarette.
It's the power that it holds. Wait, is that what he says? What does he say about it?
Yes, yes.
I'm like, is it the cigarette that has the power?
It's the
us?
metaphor. It's the power. Oh, good question. Is it
Yeah.
the cigarette or is it us?
Look, it's also been over 10 years since I've read The Fault in Our Stars.
I think it's supposed to be the power that you can give to the cigarette
Yes, to put it in between your teeth or whatever.
and not light it.
And not chew it. Nom, nom, nom.
That's it.
That's it. Everyone that's ever told me about cigarettes has told me they eat them.
What?
No, I'm joking.
Oh.
But ask Bridget. Ask Bridget.
For real?
No.
Oh my god. I was like, people eat cigarettes?
Bridget would. What kind of cancer did he have?
I think it was bone cancer.
Oh, okay. I was
So
thinking.
it really wasn't related to the cigarette. I really.
Sorry. Please continue
Don't-
smoking cigarettes, guys.
Don't put this on the cigarette. This wasn't the cigarette's responsibility.
You're right.
Okay.
You did nothing wrong.
Sweet baby, you did
Sweet
nothing
baby.
wrong.
I feel like in the future we should like hang all these up.
We 100%.
I kind of want Sweet Baby Cigarette. Oh my god.
Sweet Baby Cigarette.
If John Green ever comes out with another YA novel,
This is what we'll put up.
this is instead of like the dragons.
Sweet baby cigarette.
Sorry, you can put Sweet Baby Cigarette in the cake.
Should I put Sweet baby cigarette.
It's even like a candle if you think about it.
It's basically a candle. If you don't give it the power,
If you don't give it
it's
power.
just a candle. And who doesn't love a candle?
Yeah.
There are so many pros. Hear me out.
Hear me out. Sweet baby. Okay. I don't even know how to continue.
That was-
All right, we're going in a completely different avenue. I probably should have done something a little more
Still
normal.
unhinged?
Very.
Different, but still unhinged.
So an avenue that I hadn't thought of when we were thinking of these until like we were talking a little bit more about it was children's books. And I genuinely, as soon as I thought of it, I was like, yes. Because I genuinely had, this is the truest hear me out on this cake. It is the Sneetches from Dr. Seuss.
Oh my God.
So I think the Sneetches had a few different stories, but there was like a video, some sort of like VHS of like Dr. Seuss stories. And the story I remember about the Sneetches is that some of the Sneetches would get stars in their belly and then act like they were superior because they had stars in their belly.
He's really pointing to that star too. Like,
Yes, it was.
look at my star.
Yeah, they all like go into a big machine to get the star planted on their belly, and then they do a bunch of different things to try and act like they keep the people who don't have stars on their belly then also like do something, I don't know, but
Interesting.
I don't know what it is about the body of this Sneetch, but
He could get it.
he could get it. I love a pear shape, I guess. Let me know if you guys ever thought about these guys growing up. I might be the only one.
But you're definitely not the only one that thought of Dr. Seuss characters
Oh,
as hear me outs.
yeah.
Or maybe it's just you and me because like the Lorax.
Oh, the Lorax, yes.
Come on.
Wait, so is that
Hear
one of
me
yours?
out. No.
Oh,
It's not, but it should have been.
yeah. The Lorax is such a like. I mean, honestly, think of all the short kings in your life. They all kind of.
They all kind of look like the Lorax.
Big mustaches in. Bald is happening now at this age. The Lorax. Spray tans not so much in, but that's okay.
I mean, people still get
they still get spray
it's still a
tans.
thing,
It's just not as popular as it used to be.
mustaches. Bald. The Lorax, obviously. Okay, it's only going downhill from here. Or
Really?
uphill, depending on how you want to look at it.
Okay.
My next hear me out is Bryaxis
Oh,
from ACOTAR.
I love that one. I love Bryaxis.
Not a human, not an animal, a being, a shadow,
Yeah.
a monster,
It's like
an entity.
an entity. I mean, he has a voice.
He has a voice. He has a voice. He has power. He's alluring.
Yeah.
You know? He's mysterious. He's strong. Maybe a little bit scary.
Scary enough that Cassian
Exactly.
deeply fears him.
Exactly.
But also not bad enough that, like, he never hurts Feyre.
But not bad enough that he's like that monstrous. You know, like she goes down there, but he doesn't hurt her. All he wants is a friend.
He wants a friend and he wants a window.
And he wants a window. Listen, Bryaxis, I'll be your friend. And maybe more.
Do you think that's why at the end it's like, oh, he's just kind of gone. Like, we don't really know what's up with him. He just escaped and we haven't really bothered to look for him. He's out there finding you.
He's my soulmate, Bryaxis.
Bryaxis, come to me, baby.
Bryaxis?
On very similar line, I feel like in a way I'm like, this is not a hear me out. If you've read ACOTAR and this is not on your need to bone list, then like, what are you doing? The cereal.
Classic.
Of course.
Classic.
This picture kind of is doing nothing. It is the darkest picture in the world. But I love a good gossip. And that's really important to me in a partner. Did you finish ACOWAR?
I did.
Okay, so you know what happens to him.
Yeah.
Okay. R.I.P. to the cereal.
R.I.P.
I was in an airport when I read that the cereal died, and I had to shut the book and process.
It was a traumatic moment because, like, why?
Yes!
The cereal?
The cereal is literally, like, he comes in
My
clutch
heart.
every book. And the thing, too, is that, like, supposedly there are multiple cereals, right? But we always saw this cereal.
This cereal. This is our cereal.
Because
this is Feyre's
He
cereal.
believed in hope. He believed in there being hope for the world. And also he loved a good cloak. And chicken. And
Chicken.
those are just all such sweet, endearing qualities.
Cereal is not on my hear me out list personally, but that doesn't mean that I'm not a fan of cereal. Like, I don't think I ever looked at cereal as someone I wanted to bone, but definitely someone that I wanted to spill the tea with. You know what I mean? Like,
At the
definitely,
very least.
at the very least, a friend.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, actually, looking at the fan art was like, ooh, I kind of forgot how scary he looks.
Okay, I've got another Shadow Daddy on my list for my next one. It's going to be the Darkling / General Kerrigan from Shadow and Bone.
Oh, I do not know anything about this.
So, similar to the Bridgerton books, I haven't read the Shadow and Bone series, but I have seen the TV show. And let me just say, is it a hear me out? I mean, look at that. Ben Barnes in anything, though. Ben Barnes in anything.
Looks like a hot man.
He's a hot man. He's a hot man with power, with temptation. He can command a room. Even after he gets all scarred up when Alina gets at him in the fold, still hot. Like, he could still get it.
Is he mean?
Yes.
Meany time.
But he has a purpose.
Just like, I don't know if it's a hear me out, he looks hot, but if he's mean, it's like, okay.
He is mean. He is a little cruel. He's pretty angry. He's also traumatized and has not processed everything that he's gone through. Hear me out. He's not perfect, but hear me out.
You have a few I can fix him people.
What does that say about me?
What does that say?
I can fix him.
Yeah. We're taking our cakes to therapy, by the way, after this. Don't worry. My next hear me out is Professor Kaori from Fourth Wing. And personally, the way I always pictured him is not exactly like Neil deGrasse Tyson, but it's kind of close.
Did you print out a picture of Neil deGrasse Tyson?
I picked out a picture of Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like, imagine Neil deGrasse Tyson with like more gray hair, I think a little shorter hair. I really like the idea of him having like completely white on the sides and then like dark hair on the top.
I'm obsessed with the fact that you, like, not even that it's Professor Kaori, but the fact that you printed out a picture of Neil deGrasse Tyson for this.
And also in the graphic audiobook, I don't know, there's something about that voice that elicits this image, and I think it makes sense. The man who plays Kaori in the graphic audio, beautiful voice.
Should be Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Should be Neil deGrasse Tyson. And honestly, they don't have the same voice. I mean, I guess Neil deGrasse Tyson's voice is a little deep. The guy in the graphic audio, it's like very deep, very like full sounding. It is just hot. And there's a lot of teachers to choose from, but I feel like Kaori is a little underrated. Mm-hmm. So that's why I went with him.
Kaori's a keeper for sure.
Because again, I feel like Devera, a little obvious.
Yeah.
So
I get that. Okay, so my next hear me out is a little problematic, I think, but not because of the hear me out itself. I think it might be a little controversial because I don't really know much about this world. I've never read the book series and I've never seen the movies. Oh. So I think, hear me out. Like, I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, can you really put that on a hear me out cake if you don't really know much about the world? But I'm doing it anyway. It's the One Ring from The Lord of the Rings.
Oh! You're going for the Gollum effect. Mm-hmm. That's his name, right? I saw Lord of the Rings once, but I didn't understand a single thing about it.
Okay, so this is going to be a really interesting segment with us talking about the Lord of the Rings, and really hardcore,
it's like
die-hard fans are going to be like, excuse me?
It's like, what can we say about this ring? Literally nothing.
But look how beautiful it is.
It is a beautiful ring.
Look how beautiful this ring is. Listen, when I look at this ring and I hear about this ring and I think about this ring, I understand what Sauron and Frodo and Bilbo and I think Samwise is another character, right? Uh-huh. And those are the only 4 characters, and Gandalf. But I don't think Gandalf wants the ring. Does he?
I don't think so. I don't know who the bad guy is in Lord of the Rings.
The point is, lots of people want the ring, and I understand.
Liv Tyler probably wants it. Orlando Bloom's
in it.
I'm just naming people I know that's in Lord of the Rings.
Yes. And I understand why those people want the ring. Like, I get it. It's powerful. It's alluring. Also kind of, like, unattainable a little bit. There's only one, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't. But, yeah. It looks like a nice
I get it. I would go crazy for this ring, too. Precious.
Precious. We have Sweet Baby Cigarette and Precious.
Sweet Baby Cigarette and Precious Little One Ring.
Yeah.
I just know all of the Lord of the Rings fans are like, please don't ever talk about the Lord of the Rings.
You don't even understand.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay, so I think we're on the last one for each of us, and then we go into honorable mentions.
I think we are on our last one, yeah.
All of mine were not ranked except for this one. And so if you've been listening to the podcast in our one other episode, then you might be familiar with When the Moon Hatched. And my character is the Velvet Trog from
Not the Velvet Trog.
I don't think I was actually really holding back. I wanted to talk about the Velvet Trog so bad in the episode, but I was like, we're running out of time. And honestly, I have a lot to say about her for the Hear Me Out cake. So
Here's the time. Yeah, here's the time. Now's the time.
Because there's so many things about her.
Now's the
She
time.
has 6 arms. She has, I don't even remember how many eyes.
She can do so much.
She can eat objects, sustainable queen, and know their secrets.
And look at that figure, my gosh.
Honestly, the figure.
Look at her figure.
Beautiful color of blue.
She's so lithe, like.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And let's not forget the secretion.
Not the secretion.
My favorite thing about her, and I don't know what this says about me, and I don't know why I'm obsessed with it. I love that she has holes in her hands, and she secretes, and she's just like, I just imagine her playing with her little secretion, and she's just like, eek.
I feel like every time you explain and hear me out, Carly, there's always something that I'm like trying to listen and not judge.
So at one point in When the Moon Hatched, I don't really remember what the purpose of it was. I think that Vea was just trying to get on the Trog's good side, and she was like, oh, I wish I could secrete like that.
And you thought, yeah, I understand.
And you're like, yeah.
I understand
She's
that.
saying it to, like, I think get on the Trog's good side, and I'm like, me too.
But actually, same.
But I don't have to secrete if she does. So, baby girl's going right up front. That's my girl. I literally wish I could eat trash like her.
I wish I could. That's a soundbite. I literally wish I could eat trash like her.
She might be my next cereal. Now that RIP to the cereal, it's
yeah.
all about the Trog. Yeah.
It's all about the Trog. That's who we're rooting for.
Yeah.
Okay, my last Hear Me Out is also from When the Moon Hatched. So if you haven't listened to that episode, once again, go listen to it. My last Hear Me Out is Kalis. Specifically, Kalis as the Ether Stone on the top of Kaisari's head in her diadem.
For the people who can't see, can you explain what your picture is?
So this is the Scarlet Witch from the Marvel universe.
I low-key at first when I saw that was worried that you thought that Wanda was a Hear Me Out, and I was like, how dare you?
No. Wanda is like an obvious smash.
She is the first smash on my list.
She's an obvious smash, but I was using her as a representation for Kaisari in When the Moon Hatched so that I could have Kaisari and then stick this little gem on the top of her head to represent Kalis.
I don't know if we talked enough about... Did we even talk about Kalis a whole lot? Oh, no, we did.
We talked about him a little bit, and I think I made it very clear that I had strong feelings about Kalis in that episode, and it's coming back around. It's coming back around because they still exist, because hear me out.
Yeah, what's gonna happen if it turns out he is bad?
I can fix it.
I knew it. It's always I can fix him. And that's exactly what Kaisari thinks too. You're no better.
Kaisari. There's just something about him, okay?
There's a lot of mystery.
There's a lot of mystery. I feel like he's kind of tempting, you know? He's obviously super powerful. He's lonely. He also needs a friend. Do I have a theme?
Fixer-uppers
Do
that
I
are
have
lonely.
a theme? All I'm trying to say is that I understand where our girl Kaisari is coming from. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
So I'm also putting our main man Kalis right up front.
Yeah. Good for him. Someone has to. So those are our top 10. We've got a pretty full cake. We did have some honorable mentions, and we did print them off. So we're going to also stick those in. Okay, so I will go first. And I have the Shepherd King from One Dark Window, but more specifically Two Twisted Crowns.
Okay, I haven't read this series, so is this a problematic man?
He's very interesting, and actually I could have gone another way because in the first book he kind of takes the form of a like nightmarish creature, but then in the second book you realize that,
Nightmarish creature, you said?
yeah, I really actually think you would like this series. I know at first I was like a little slow to it, but then it gets really good.
Okay.
I think you would really like it. Because also specifically, initially, he's inside the main character's head only.
You are speaking my language.
Yeah, this is your man. But I did really like getting to know him more in the second book. So I kind of lean more towards this version of him. And especially once I started looking at pictures of him, of the nightmare in the first book, I was like, I don't think I can do that. I know that it's a little, like, it's probably pretty similar in vibe to, like, Lupin as the werewolf, but it's just a little too dark and scary for me. So I said, nope, no, thank you. I like him as a man. I know some people did not like always seeing his perspective, I feel like, in the second book, which also adds to the hear me outness. I think that he's a little underrated. I really like him.
Okay, my first honorable mention is Klaus from The Vampire Diaries.
Oh, I have not seen Vampire Diaries.
So again, physically, not exactly a hear me out. I mean, look at this man.
Oh yeah, that's a normal man.
This is a normal man. But is he angry? Yes. Is he cruel? Yes. Is he manipulative? Yes. But Carly, I
know you. God, you do have a lot of hobbies. Add men to the list. but to fix.
Just fixing men.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then throw them away. It's like, all right, I fixed you.
Next man on my hear me out list. Let me fix you.
My next honorable mention is Mort from the Throne of Glass series.
I also haven't read.
He's a door knocker.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Got it. I understand.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
I get it.
I don't know all of his lore. I've only read the first 2 books, so if he becomes problematic, I don't know about it. He's just like the sassy little door knocker. Like, the main character goes to this place. I think it's a tomb, and he's on the outside, and he's always like, why don't you know to do this thing? Except he also is so secretive and, like, cryptic, but he is just so sassy and fun. I low-key was just obsessed with him.
Okay,
And
love that.
if he does not come back for more books, I'm going to be really sad. Surely, though, right? Surely.
Okay, sticking with my theme of I can fix him. Next honorable mention is Robin from Teen Titans.
Oh, why do you have to fix Robin?
So, okay, I'm glad that you say that because I think he is another character that's like, is he a hear me out or is he kind of obvious? And I think when you first think about him, kind of like Haymitch, you kind of think like, oh, obviously, like this is definitely somebody that I would go for. Mm-hmm. But Robin is a little selfish. He's also a little egotistical. And he also, despite being the leader of the Teen Titans, doesn't really play well with others.
Oh.
Like he's very much like, my way's the best way.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is also interesting because Robin as a sidekick is a sidekick. Mm-hmm. So you would think he would be extra good at just going with whatever.
But this is specifically Robin from Teen Titans.
Yeah.
He's a little full of himself, I think. He needs a little bit of humbling.
Yeah.
And I can do that for him.
Man, I used to watch so much Teen Titans and I don't remember anything about
I love Teen Titans. Other Teen Titans honorable mentions.
the rest
Beast
of them.
Boy, Starfire, literally everyone.
Yeah. Because also,
actually, now that we're talking about it,
what's the girl with the hood?
Raven,
Yes.
also a hear me out, or Smash.
Yeah. Yes. Smash Teen Titans.
Smash all of Teen Titans.
Yeah. Easy. My last hear me out, I'm so excited for. If you listen to our last episode of When the Moon Hatch, you already know how much I love this character. And it is Rook. But my version of Rook is the bad CGI version of Sonic the Hedgehog. Because
I literally was about to say, is that Sonic the Hedgehog?
I'm not kidding. This is close to what I saw when I thought of Rook.
Blue fur and all?
Yeah, blue fur.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, I pictured a little bit more of like a real man's face, but this is this is as close as I could get.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I did look up fan art. There's like a whole video on TikTok of like, fan art of the creatures in When the Moon Hatched.
Yeah.
And I was actually really surprised. The Woto looks a lot like a giant rat. I'm sure that's how it was described. That's just not what came through for me.
Just not what you saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Did the fan art match up to Sonic the Hedgehog?
no. It had a long nose. Looked at that little rat, I was like, that is not my Woto. That is not Rook. There's no personality in this little guy.
Yeah.
Now, Rook, I could see.
Now, Sonic the Hedgehog is Rook?
Yeah. Yes, cast Sonic the Hedgehog as Rook.
Okay, and rounding out our list with animalistic animated characters, I've got Michelangelo as my last honorable mention. Hear me out.
Oh, is there a comic book of
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
Both
okay.
Teen Titans and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are comics.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So this is Michelangelo. He's the one with the orange headband, just in case you didn't know or wasn't sure which of the 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles he was. I chose this picture where he's like wielding his little nunchucks and eating a slice of pizza because that's truly who Michelangelo is at his core.
Do you specifically like this version that's a little bit more like live action versus the cartoon?
I actually think I like the cartoon version better, but I wanted a picture that showed the nunchucks and the pizza because I feel like that really like shows his personality and who he is as a member of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, because I was gonna say this scares me. This one I do not like.
Yes, I'm a bigger fan of the animated Michelangelo, but I do like the fact that Michelangelo, he's funny, he's relatable, he's a good friend. Mm-hmm. You know, he's there for the team. He doesn't have too much going on up there.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes he's a little kind of like Philippa Featherington from Bridgerton. She's a little doesn't really know what's going on, and sometimes Michelangelo is a little doesn't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
But the personality really shines. I do think, obviously, he's a turtle. So
I do think he's a turtle. I agree.
he is a
In
turtle.
my bones, I know he's a turtle.
So hear me out.
Yeah. I like how he was basically the antithesis of Robin. Like everything that you described about Robin, he is the opposite, but you still like both.
But yes, I'm still here for both of them.
Well, that's it, guys. That's the final product.
That's our hear me out.
This is the
Look
cake.
at how beautiful she is. This is the hottest cake I've ever seen.
The hottest cake we've ever seen. That was our first off-the-shelf episode. This is what you can expect in these
This
episodes.
is what you can expect to get from us.
Honestly, I don't know if we're ever going to be as unhinged as we were in this episode.
I think it'll only get more unhinged if I'm being honest. These off-the-shelf episodes have that effect on us, I think.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed that about this episode, please stay tuned for the others. Because this is what you can expect. Our next book club episode will feature Onyx Storm. And I'm not going to go into detail about what it's about because you guys already know.
So tune in for that episode on Tuesday, March 25th. Thanks for listening to the first full off-the-shelf episode of our soon-to-be hit podcast, Read Receipts with Carly and Sam. All of the content that you hear in this episode is curated, recorded, and edited by us truly, with special thanks to the authors of the books that we cover and Pixabay for the music that we play. And the internet for all of this beautiful fan art that we put on our cake.
I don't know who drew them, but thank you.
Make sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you like to listen. And for more of our content in between shows, you can follow us at the Read Receipts Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We read all of your comments and we love all your likes. So please, please, please follow along. Until our next read, bye.